Hi, today we'll be taking a look at the new Great Nature deck from VG-V-BT11. Today we'll be featuring Bigbelly. Right, let's start with the effect. So, during each battle phase and end phase, when one of your rear guard get retired by a card effect, you get to draw one. And next, when this card attacks, counter plus 1. Stand one of your rear guard with power 20,000 and above. And if there's a grade 3 in soul, stand all your rear guard with power 20,000 and above instead. Alright, so it's similar to the old success ability where it activates if your unit is above a certain power. So that's Bigbelly. So one of the main feature will be the double R from EB10 Hamdon. So when your other unit enters a extra rearguard circle, counter plus 1, put one card from hand to soul. During this turn, this unit and that unit get power plus 10,000. If you have 2 or more additional rearguard circle, you get to draw 1. Alright, so for the main focus will be on this portion where you put one card in hand to soul, so you can actually just put a grade 3 into soul and activate Bigbelly's ability from the very first turn you ride it. And not only that, by additional of the 10,000, you can actually activate a success, which is 22,000. Alright, so this is a highly recommended card in the deck. Next, we have the new common card, Triangular. Right, so Vanguard rearguard effect. During your turn, if there's no rearguard in the same column, this unit get power plus 10,000. So if it's standing alone, let's say on an additional rearguard circle, or even on just a normal rearguard circle, this is a 22k, which activates the success. And not only that, when the attack hits anything, be it Vanguard rearguard, during this turn, one of your rearguard get power plus 10,000, which also increase the chance of you having the ability of success 20,000. Right, so this is good to have, highly recommended also. Next, let's take a look at the new grade 2s. Right, almost the whole deck is actually new units with just an addition of a few older cards. So the triple R support, Measured Forza, when it enters the Vanguard rearguard circle from your hand, counter plus 1, look at 2 cards from top of the deck, call up to 1 to rearguard circle, the rest need to drop. And once per turn, when this unit attacks, if your Vanguard is grade 3 and above, soul plus 1, choose one of your rearguard. During this turn, you get power plus 10,000. Retire it at the end of the turn. Right, the usual Great Nature build from the G era. Next, we have the Sprue Melee. As a rearguard, once per turn, when this unit attacks, you have a Vanguard with Bigbelly in name. During this turn, one of your Vanguard and this unit get power plus 10,000. If you do so, retire this unit at the end of the turn. So not only you get a power plus 10,000, make it 19,000. And also when you roll upon this unit, you get to call this to the rearguard circle. Right, so this is a pretty good unit to have in your deck. But you can actually reduce it. You can just play like 3 copies will do. Next, we have the Geograph Giant from EB04. Right, so when it's on the additional rearguard circle, you get power plus 8,000. 9 plus 8, 17. And even on an XL2, 17, it will be 22,000 by itself. So you actually activate the Bigbelly's 20k success easily without doing anything. So highly recommended. Next, let's go for the grade 1. So we have the grade 3 Searcher that get power plus 5,000 if you have a unit on your extra circle. Next, we have the Historian. When it enters the Vanguard circle, discard 1 to draw 1. The second effect, which is the main, after boosting, retire this unit. During this turn, one of your rear guard get power plus 10,000. So after boosting, you can actually just retire it, give another unit power plus 10,000 to activate success, and since it's retired by a card effect, you get to draw one by Bigbelly's effect. So definitely a must play. Right. And last but not least, we finally have a counter charge unit in Great Nature, just that is locked to Bigbelly. As a vanguard, when the attack hits, draw one. When your card get retired when this unit get retired from rearguard circle by your card effect, you have a Bigbelly vanguard counter charge one. Right, so counter charge unit. Even though the counter blast in this deck is quite minimal, but it's still good to have. Alright, for trigger we are playing 8 front. 8 front to increase the amount of power on the field. So basically, for this deck, if your opponent do not have Sentinel, they'll be using like more than half their hand just to block one attack. So we want to further utilize this, and we decide to go for 8 front. But at the same time, you can actually go for crit. Since we have high power, it's pretty difficult for opponent to guard any of the attack. Next, let's take a look at the cards that was considered. Number 1, we have Cecil. So at the early game, when you soul charge, if you manage to soul charge a grade 3, you can actually activate Bigbelly's effect easily. Right, it's a lottery. I have very low chance, so we took it out. Next, we have Binoculars Tiger. Right, for the additional 5k to 3 unit in the front row, and retire opponents, and only that you can get to draw if you get the lottery, which is a good unit, so you can consider it. Love Daughter, you either get additional normal unit on the rearguard circle, or this unit becomes a 24k, which activates the success ability, which is highly recommended in this deck. Next, Isabel. Right, so before Bigbelly attack, we can actually call Isabel to manipulate the top of the deck to make sure that we have triggers to end the game. Right, so you can actually have 2 copies in your deck. Right, it actually works pretty well. Alright, let's take a look at the reenact of our test gameplay. So we have Bigbelly. Once again, XL2. Right, Bigbelly XL2. It would be good if I Hampton. If not, the standoff field will just drag for 1 turn. Right, so that's why we have grade 3 Searcher. We have things that call from top deck. Right, so these are all there for a reason. Right, so Giant, and just put 1 random grade 3 into Soul, so that at this point of time we activated the ability. So this unit get power plus 8,000 for now, and since we activated this effect, plus another 10,000. Right, so for the other lane, it can be anything. You can just have a simple triangular. Since there's no unit at the back row, it gets another 10,000. Right, so this is a simple field. 22,000, 22,000. This is 17, 22, 32,000. So Bigbelly attack, counter blast 1, stun everyone. Right, so huge power with multiple attack. If you manage to open front trigger, you actually get additional of 10,000. Right, which is 32, 32, right? And if you notice for this attack, at the end of turn, I do not need to actually retire anyone. And during the first attack, if this were to hit anything, even a rear guard, I can actually give 10,000 to any other units. Right, high power, simple, not much cost, and full of potential. You can actually put Isabel into this deck. Right, actually works pretty well. Right, that's why I didn't call this. I can actually manipulate the top to make sure that I have trigger for the rest of the turn, and also to use other unit to give her additional 10k to make it 22,000. And after retire, I get to draw one anyway. Right, so this is Bigbelly from Great Nature.